Filmalry. I'm Donata.
And I'm Reggie.
And we are doing a recap. Someone's asked us to do a recap of the best movies of 2016. So here's the deal. We do not see every single movie that comes out. That's utterly impossible, and we need somebody to pay for that if that's gonna happen. So better check it. No, but we would love. We're gonna go through some movies that we did see. We're gonna talk about some movies that we didn't. We are gonna bring up some stuff that you probably don't like, and then we have to do a disclaimer because there are a lot of movies that haven't come out. December is the month of the Oscar. Like generally, your Oscar movie comes out in December, so we want to make sure that we give some credence to those. So let's talk about the first one. I'm gonna say the first one because I think it's the best movie 2016. That's Deadpool. Deadpool comes out Valentine's Day, February 2016. Kills it.
It does.
It's ridiculously good.
Surprisingly
good. This man tears down. I mean, first of all, Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool in the Wolverine, the first. What is it called? Origin series, and it's horrible.
Yes.
It's absolutely horrible. I didn't even know who he was supposed to be or what was happening. Comes out here and this character tears down the third wall, which is basically talking to, is it third wall or fifth wall? Fourth wall. Mm-hmm. Thank you. See, I don't even know. Sure. The fourth wall, which means you talk to the audience. This is hilarious. And you got a black grandma in there that's making your weed brownies and getting your guns. This movie, like this whole movie is hilarious. So Deadpool is hilarious. What else we got?
Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It was to me, like I said, when we talked about if you saw, I know you guys saw it, so I shouldn't say if you saw a review. When you looked at our review, you knew that we said that it wasn't like super action packed all the way through. It was kind of a, what'd you say, like a slow grind? You call it something. Killing Me Softly?
It was Killing Me Softly. Yeah. It was a Killing Me Softly.
Right. So
2016.
Very, very good movie. Highly recommend you see that.
Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe.
Another surprisingly good
surprising movie.
Don't
Breathe. Blind man in the house got 3 intruders. You know, you thinking they coming to rob him? They messed up. He kidnaps them.
How can you make an hour, 45-minute movie with a guy chasing 3 people in a house? That's the movie. And it was ridiculously good.
Ridiculously good. Luke Cage. Netflix series, Luke Cage. There's no words for this series.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like, I don't think that I've ever been. The music, I mean, just everything about the cinematography, the music, the cast selection, just down to being in Harlem and it was just awesome.
It was good.
It was awesome. If you have not seen Luke Cage, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, you are. And they did it to a T. They really put their minds into it. Thought the thought process was good, and what they came up with was a very good product. I think.
And I think for anybody that says, "Where the black superheroes at?" Because you hear that a lot or whatever. This is your black superhero movie. Yeah. Go see it. Go see it.
Girl on Train.
Girl on D Train.
On D Train.
One of the one of the craziest movies.
Movies.
It is a movie that is shot in through the eyes of a drunk person.
Yes.
Alcoholic. And so it's very the producer rocked it.
Right there. And like we said, you have to just roll with it. When you start, I know you're gonna get it on DVD or see it on TV. If you get frustrated with the first 15 minutes and leave, you're gonna do yourself a disservice. Just roll with it, and by the time you get towards the end, everything's gonna start piecing together, and you're gonna enjoy. You'll see what the beginning was about. You know, you gotta kind of sit through it and just roll with it until the end, and I think you'll be satisfied.
Queen of Catway. I saw this one. He did. It was a challenge movie. Definitely inspirational for little black girls out there. Definitely take your little girls to go see it, and the little boys, because there's a story in there for them as well to just be your best. So Queen of Catway is a good Disney movie.
Purge Election Day, another surprisingly good movie.
You start a third installment of
the Purge. I mean, I was like, a third. There's no way it's gonna be good.
Would have a message.
Yeah, it did.
Would give you some sense of pride about being a good person, and you still get to see people shoot people. Yeah. I mean, you just wrapped it up in a good bow, and it tells you, the betterment of people. That's a good movie.
It was a good movie. The Nice Guys. Another, I don't think it didn't surprise me that it was good because of who was acting it. I really like Russell Crowe and I really like Ryan Gosling. I like both of them.
Great acting.
So I thought that it was gonna be good. It was different though. It was
super different.
like a '80s cop. What do you call them? Not
Miami Vice.
Yeah, type. Yeah, yeah.
But
buddy
like,
cop, like a buddy cop.
Buddy cops. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good. I think that you would like. I mean, and if you liked the trailer, it's one of the ones where if you saw the trailer and liked it, then it's pretty much more the same throughout the movie. I mean, it's good.
It's a real cool cop movie.
It is.
Avengers: Civil War, highly anticipated release. We're all waiting for the Avengers to come back. A very different type of movie because they're fighting each other. You don't know what's going to happen next, and where this after this movie where it'll take them. But Tony Stark and Captain America. What do they call him? What is his? Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers. It pulled some heartstrings there, so it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It was it was always hard because you got to translate it from the comic book. Now the comic book was on a whole different scale, a large scale. That Civil War was like hundreds of heroes against hundreds of heroes. It was, but they couldn't do that here, and I think they did the translation and they very well. Transitioning it to a movie, I think it worked good. It was. I mean, it was right up there with everybody's favorite Winter Soldier. I think it was right up there with it because, like we said, each hero got enough, screen time, so you wouldn't. Everybody got to shine a little bit, and I thought that was. It is hard to do. I mean, it was 2 hour and 10 minute movie, but everybody got to shine a little bit, which I thought would be hard with 20-something characters or whatever. So it was good.
For your kid movies, we're gonna say Trolls and Moana.
Yeah.
Very good movies. Deep messages. I saw Trolls. He saw Moana. Yeah. But we both think deep messages and good to see. So we are gonna say this. We did see The Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation is not on our 2016 list because just I don't even want to say from a producing standpoint. We just didn't think that it was one of the best movies, but it was a very good interpretation of the story. It was.
They interpreted the story. They interpreted the story well. I will say this: we caught a little bit of flack from some of our viewers, which is fine. We want the feedback. We really do. And I kind of want to address it just for a second. We were told that we were kind of shallow from our line of thinking because we weren't back then, because I'll be honest, I didn't say it was wrong. I just said I was conflicted because of the measures that they took back then, when, to kind of combat their situation, in the name of God, you know what I mean? I just was conflicted. I never said it was wrong or right. I was just like, I'm still conflicted about it. But we got a comment that was shallow because I totally agree with that because I had the same conversation with my friends that they didn't understand why I was conflicted because there's the situations that that our ancestors were in was a horrible situation, and back then you had to do what you had to do. That was their argument to me. And I get that, okay?
It's a tough conversation because, at the end of the day, the 10 Commandments are, thou shalt not kill.
Right.
And so I think that's what makes the conversation a little harder. And anybody else on the other side will say, oh, well, they were trying to kill them. It was, it was self-defense. And so, do you describe self-defense as, somebody trying to kill you at that moment? Or do you describe self-defense as somebody trying to kill you in the long run? And, what you're trying to do. But I think it's a definitely hard conversation. I think that he did an awesome job telling the story. I'm glad he told the story.
Me too.
And I'm glad that we got to see a different side of slavery because there was a different side of slavery. And I still say hats off that he even pulled the movie off on his own. And I think that was, a great thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
So, in terms of movies that have not come out, that are highly anticipated, some of them came out this weekend. December releases, we've got Rogue One, which is a Star Wars movie. Everybody wants to see it. You've got Arrival, with, what is her name? It's about aliens coming here, and she's an interpreter and able to interpret to the aliens. Yeah. He saw it. He thinks that it's just a lot of it's a bit boring.
It's good. It's boring. Okay, I equate it to another movie just like it, Contact. which was with Jodie Foster. I thought was an excellent movie, but it was boring. I mean, I know I'm not trying to contradict myself. You can still have one movie be good, but when I say boring, I mean it's not anything that's gonna like grab you. You just gotta like, it's almost like a class,
right?
You know, like a history class where you're like, you know, that's what Arrival was like. It wasn't anything that's gonna like make your senses go off. You know, like, oh my gosh, that. But it was good. It was just boring.
We've got Collateral Beauty with Will Smith. I think that came out this weekend. Passengers. Jennifer Lawrence is in it. We all love Jennifer Lawrence. She's in that one. And then Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. So what are we going to see any of those?
We probably need to see Passengers, and we definitely, I guess, have to see Assassin's Creed. I don't want to, but we will.
She don't want to see Rogue One.
I don't watch Star Wars.
Okay.
And then 3 movies that we did not see that I keep hearing things about, of course, are Loving. That's the movie about the interracial couple in West Virginia that they went to the Supreme Court to make sure that they could stay married. The Edge of 17. I have no idea what this movie is about other than a 17-year-old talking to Woody Harrelson and, you know, her just having a hard time, which is probably like a Juno movie. And then you have Almost Christmas. The reason we have not seen Almost Christmas, we try to see it as a family until we realized they had to do, the death of a family member is involved. And so because our dad died this year, it was still a little bit fresh. So we might just go see it later, but it might not review it. But we have heard great things about those movies. So that's your lineup for 2016. If you have not seen these movies, get your butt on HBO right now, and Deadpool's on there now. And or just some of the stuff you're gonna have to wait on. A lot of this stuff came out in like May, June, so you ain't gonna see it till like February unless you go.
Luke Cage, you can go see right now.
You see Luke Cage right now, but you can go and get this stuff like at your Redbox and your other places.
Right.
So make sure you check out our reviews too. You can learn more about them and go to www.siblingfilmalry.com. Sibling, FILMALRY.com. If this is your first time seeing us, please go like us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as subscribe to our page, and you can find out every time we review something. All right.